Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us. This week we are talking about the far right's failure in French regional elections, an extreme heat wave in Canada and the US, and the resignation of the British Health Secretary. So let's start. Marine Le Pen's far-right party failed to win a region in the second round of voting for France's regional elections. After winning in its stronghold region in the south of France in last week's first round by a small margin, the candidate of the National Rally Party lost in the second round on Sunday. The failure of far-right happened due to an alliance of rival parties against Le Pen's party, who formed a Republican front, and the withdrawal of the Socialist Party and left-wing alliance candidate. Just like Le Pen's far-right party, President Emmanuel Macron's centrist party also failed to win control of any region. The main winners of the regional elections were the mainstream left Socialist Party and left-wing allies, and the central-right Republicans. The election had a record low turnout of voters of less than 30%. Which, according to several politicians and experts, is a sign of a democratic crisis in the country. Some political analysts explain the lack of interest from voters, with the population being focused on next year's presidential and legislative elections. Canada has recorded its highest ever temperature as the country is suffering from an unprecedented heat wave. In Lytton, a village in British Columbia, the temperature reached 46.6 Celsius on Sunday, breaking an 84-year-old record. A heat dome of high pressure caused record-breaking temperatures in the west of Canada as well as in the Pacific Northwest of the US. The high-pressure zone stretches from California all the way up to Canada's Arctic territories and reaches inland into Idaho. Both countries have warned citizens about the dangerous heat levels of this week. Experts say more heat records could be broken in the next few days in the affected areas. Cooling shelters have been set up for the population, and there has been a run on air conditioners and fans in recent days. Some restaurants and bars and even at least one swimming pool had to be shut down because they were deemed too hot to function. According to experts, extreme weather events like this one can occur more frequently because of climate change. The UK's Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, resigned on Saturday after it has been revealed that he had broken social distancing rules during lockdown in Britain. After the tabloid newspaper The Sun published pictures and a video of Mr. Hancock and one of his colleagues hugging and kissing at the time of lockdown, public outrage put pressure on him to resign from his post as Health Secretary. Hancock, who is married with 3 children, was allegedly having an affair with his colleague Gina Coladangelo. Both of them have since resigned from their positions for breaking social distancing rules. In a video he posted on Twitter, Matt Hancock said, "I understand the enormous sacrifices that everybody in this country has made, that you have made, and those of us who make these rules have got to stick by them, and that's why I have got to resign." Downing Street has denied that Prime Minister Boris Johnson put pressure on Mr. Hancock to resign. Johnson said in response to the resignation that the former Secretary of Health should leave office very proud of what he has achieved, not just in tackling the pandemic but even before COVID-19 struck. The new Health Secretary is Conservative politician Sajid Javid, who has already done several of the most senior jobs in government. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We'll be back next week.